Hello and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video. In this one I just want to talk about the importance of planning out your GAC and what teams you're going to use, and more specifically what teams I'm planning on using in my next round of 3v3 Grand Arena. So of course, first up, we'll get straight into it. We've got Sith Eternal on Watt. My strongest team by far. Sith Eternal can solo a lot of teams in this game, but I'm primarily looking to pick on Ray, JML, GAC, maybe a Trey or Omicron, a high tier team that I could just quite comfortably take down is the ideal scenario. Next up, we've got Vader, who I will try and solo with where possible, just because he can do it with his Merciless Massacre. Probably take out a Geos or like a low end team. If not, I can throw like Moff Tarkin within my TIE Fighter pilot, who is actually quite a fun character to use. He's got a really strong AoE. I quite like him at the moment on my Empire teams in Conquest, but I will try and solo with Vader, which is why I've got speed sets on him to try and get him out as quick as possible. Next up, we've got Palpatine Mara Jade, a very basic team. I do wish I had some relic levels on Mara Jade so I could use Datacrons with it. But I think this is the best lineup I have so far with it, because of course I do not have Starkiller, so Thrawn to pass that turn meter about. Of course, you can get that little turn meter train going with MJ and Palpatine, which is very nice, and it's a very solid team. Even if you've got Mara Jade at like 2 stars, she's still absolutely solid. Because of that stun, because of all the staggers she gives out, of course, Palps has that mass stun as well, which is really strong. Thrawn can fracture, so this team just really slows down the enemy team. Next up, we've got CLS, and of course, I've split the 5v5 into 2 teams. So with CLS, I'm going to give C3PO and 3PO and Chewie. I think it's the best lineup that I can give for it that will do the most damage. And then Han and Chewie go on to Dash's team, which is, a pretty mid team for me right now, just because I don't have the relic levels or Zeta on Dash, but gives you those most teams. That's the problem with 3v3 Grand Arena. You spread very thin because of the amount of teams you need, so you've got to try and get creative with it, which is why it is very important to plan. Next up, we got Trey Omicron. Probably going to go in this with Sith Marauder and Sidious, but I have like Dooku and Darth Maul if I need them. Apologies. Which, yeah, our Omicron is incredibly strong. Of course, if you've got Nihilus and the Scion, go for all that. But I don't. I'm using my Sith Eternal Rex to go with her, and the damage Sith Marauder hits for it is insane at all times, so he's really nice. And you pair that with the Exposed from Sidious, it's a really solid team. Gets me either a lot of holds or can just easily take out a team if it needs to. Then we've got another Sith down here. He's probably one of the best characters to get in the game, because you can get him so easily early on. It's Savage. You can solo lots of teams. Has done it for me in the past. Works absolute wonders once you've got Omicron and Zeta on. I would not pass up on that character if you are a free-to-play player, and he will do absolutely bits for you in 3v3 Grand Arena. So next up after Savage, we have Padme, who I'm going to be pairing with GK and Anakin. Of course, got the relic levels, so I think that's the best idea. Jedi Anakin hits hard, Kenobi tanks. Then Padme can obviously heal them up, get them those extra stacks of courage so they can do even more damage. So I just feel like it's the best lineup that I can provide right now. Of course, don't have Padme at the relics, which is a shame, but having GK and Jedi Anakin at relic levels is just a killer anyway. Gets me a nice amount of holds in 5v5 with Ahsoka and Shaq T. So I can't imagine this 3v3 team will go wrong. Next up, we've got Bounty Hunters, who I'm going to be using Boss, Dengar, and Boba. Of course, may put Mando and Grief on the team depending on the situation, but with this team I can use Datacrons, which I'm really pushing hard for in Conquest and all, because of the amount of teams that 3v3 that I can put Datacrons on because of the relic levels. So this is the team I'm probably going to line up with early on. Next up, we've got Vader's Troopers, and a bit of a change of lineup this season. Swap Stark and Dark Trooper from Vader's and Iden's team, and this is because I've got an Imperial Troopers Datacron for these next couple of seasons. So I really want to make the most of that with this 3v3 team, and this team is absolutely rapid. They're going to get out first, and from that Datacron, it's going to give me extra defense penetration and offense up. So this team is just going to hit like a truck. Even with no Dark Trooper, a Relic APX can absolutely destroy a team himself. So yeah, next up we've got Iden. A great character, one of my favourite free-to-play characters that is in the game with their team. We're running Dark Trooper on it, so we've got that extra little bit of damage output on the team. Range Trooper for the extra protection up. And I think, again, it's just going to be another solid team for me this season. It always has been, always will be for Iden for me, and I can't wait to get over to Relics one day. We have Geos next, who it's just a very basic team. Need spy on it for the damage. We're going to get the brood spawn in from GBA. It's just a team I throw on defense just to fill out the numbers, to be quite honest with you. The next team is a much bigger team now. We've got them all at gear 12 and got some Zetas going. We've got Jedi Knight Revan with Bastila and Jolie, an amazing team. Especially when you can pass that turn meter around with Revan, get all the buffs out with Bastila, and then even like thing like the map with Jedi Knight Revan. It's a really strong team. The revive on Jolie, now I've got the Zeta on it. It just makes the team even more amazing. Next up, we have the Ewoks. Again, just another one of those teams like the GLs where it's just an absolute filler team for me, just for the numbers. Should not have applied this Omicron to Chirper. I've said it before, it is a regret, but you know, it's there to fill up a back wall. So finally, the last couple of teams we have, and my new first order teams, which are really nice to apply those Datacrons because they're a Relic 5. They should be able to do some damage. I will have Hux' Zeta by the time the next 3v3 Grand Arena rolls around, which will be really, really nice. But for now, yeah, they're just probably going to be defensive filler teams for a while, especially until they get their the Zetas on. I'm not sure how I want to line them up specifically, but this is my first idea. With Crew, Hux, and Sith Trooper, and then Phasma, Stormtrooper, and Executioner. Of course, once I finally get First Order TIE Pilots Omicron, that will be a team as well. Whether it replaces some of these characters, I don't know. I'm going to take some time and, you know, mess around with it, see what I think over especially this first season of 3v3 Grand Arena. But if you do have any advice, please let me know in the comments below. And finally, we've got Wampa, who isn't great at the moment because he ain't relics, but, you know, he might be able to do a job on a 3v3 team that is quite low level. Get me those extra banners and just, you know, absolutely run with it. And if we have a look at fleets, of course, don't have the Executor yet. Very close to it. On the 15th of October, we will unlock it. But my main fleets were going for a Negotiator with Anakin Ship, the, what's it called? I will probably have Houndstooth in the spot, to be fair, and Unbarren Starfighter with Ahsoka and Plo. The Chimera with the TIE Advance, the TIE Bomber, the TIE Fighter, the TIE Defender, and the Emperor's Shuttle. And the Executrix with the Geo's fleet and just the leftover ships that I have. And again, we're going to have the Executor soon. The Finalizer will follow shortly as well because of the pack. Just need to finish farming up the Command Shuttle, which I'm on 20 out of 100 shards for, and then we'll have that done. The TIE Echelon I've just started farming, so that isn't far off, but it will be on its way eventually. So we will have that Executor triple attacker counter, which will be very nice. And then yeah, just looking at Datacrons, I've mentioned it a couple of times. I've got an Imperial Troopers one down here, Dark Side one, and a couple of light side ones, which I won't get any use because I don't have many dark side characters, but they've got some nice stats on them, I'm pretty sure. Once it loads, we can quickly take a look. On the Steadfast Resolve, we've got Crit Avoidance and Offense, which is very, very nice. But that's really about it. The Datacrons aren't anything special. Going to keep working on Conquest to get some more. Let me know how you're feeling about the next 3v3 Grand Arena, whether you like it, whether you dislike it. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.